Alrighty guys, so it's Friday, it's late April, and we are on open water up in the northern woods of Wisconsin. Just got out here, the ice just came off last week, so the water's pretty cold probably. Gonna be going for bass in northern. This time of year I like to throw ripping wraps, lipless cranks, that such. But that's with all my walleye stuff, and I left that at home. I was in a rush to come up here after work, and I really was not prepared. So I'm gonna try to throw some chatterbaits, some chartreuse chatterbaits, that bright color. Hopefully that gets them to bite. Might try the A-rig, and then maybe just a swim bait. But it's not too bad out here. It's pretty nice. It's probably 55 degrees. It's a little windy, but I thought it's not bad out here. I thought it'd be a little more choppy, but it's not bad at all. So hopefully get a couple fish. Pretty excited to be out here. I love fishing this lake, so there's some big fish in here, so it should be good. So stay tuned. Alrighty guys, so this is what I'm going to start throwing, this Z-Man chatterbait here. In the past it's done pretty good, fishing in about probably anywhere from 6 to 10 feet of water in known weed beds. I'm pretty familiar with this lake, so I don't have any fishing electronics on this boat of mine, but usually in the past I throw ripping wraps, and those have been killer. But like I said before, that is all at home, and I really don't have any lipless cranks here at all. So I'm gonna start with this chatterbait, maybe switch to A-rig or a swim bait and see what we can get. There's one. I smoked it. Feels nice, whatever it is. Oh, big fish. Nice one. Never mind, a small northern. Oh, that guy smoked it. He's not big at all. Another one. Pike are smoking this bait. This guy choked it. Oh, look at that bait. Absolutely in there. Hooks that right on top of the mouth. He wanted it. Definitely on something now for at least pike. Hopefully we can get a bigger one. Alright guys, I'm just throwing this Cabela's swim bait here. It's about probably a 5-inch swim bait with a VMC hook swim bait head, and this bait works well year round. I started throwing this bait in the summer and would catch some bass and some pretty big northern on it, and this fall it did good for bass and northern, and now this spring it's doing good for pike so far. So hopefully we can get some bigger pike and maybe a bass or two. That would be nice. But 2 fish so far, so, and that was within the last 3 casts. We got 2 fish, so hopefully we're on something, and hopefully we can catch a couple more. There's another one. My gosh. That guy absolutely ate it too. Almost took it out of the water, I feel like. It's number 3. First one was the biggest. There's another one. Number 4. This one went way in the weeds. Another pike. They're absolutely eating the swim bait though. Wow. Look at that. Just in his mouth again. This guy's the smallest one yet. Another one. This one smoked it. 5th one, guys. 5th one in 20 minutes about. This might be a bass. It seems like it wants to come up a little bit, but let's find out. Looks like a northern. Nope. Oh, it's a bass. There we go. Wow. That guy choked it too. Look at that bait. I was right. It was a bass. Probably about a 12-incher. Thick fish though. Inhaled the swim bait. Just doing a steady retrieve. I was throwing that chatterbait and I was just slow rolling it, and they really like to swim bait with a steady retrieve. Met 4 northern and a bass so far. Oh, that's a big fish. That thing smoked it. This is heavy. Huge bass. Or pike. It's a big bass. Oh boy. That's a bucket mouth. That's a freaking bucket mouth. That's what we're after. I just knew as soon as I set the hook, I'm like, this thing is heavy. And it's a huge bass. Absolutely choked the swim bait, guys. This has been the ticket today. Not a long fish, but he's got a bucket mouth and he's got some shoulders. She's thick. That thing smoked it. Look at that fish. That's picture worthy. Look at that mouth. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Good stomach on that fish. Get a release on her. There's a tank. Probably 2.5 pounds, almost 3. I'm gonna guess 18 inches. There she goes. Alright guys, so just released that big bass, and I tell you what, these fish are hungry. The ice just came off this lake last weekend and they're crushing this swim bait. Every fish I've caught, this swim bait's in their mouth, almost down their throat. So hopefully we can get a couple more. It would be nice to catch some bigger fish, some bigger bass like that, and maybe a big pike. But either way, it's fun to get out and set some hooks on these fish. Been doing a lot of walleye fishing, and it feels good to set some hooks on some northern and bass. You can't beat it. So just throwing this 7'3" medium heavy ducket, and I got it paired with this Shimano Curado. I believe it's 6-to-1 gear ratio, and I tell you what, this setup is awesome for swim bait and just for casting in this wind today. The wind died down, but for casting in this wind, you cannot beat this Curado DC reel. It's amazing. I can whip this bait so far. I love the setup. So stay tuned. Hopefully we can catch some more fish. There's one. Don't know what this is. Not doing a lot. Northern. Look at that bait. Look at that. I can't even look at it because it's so far in there. It's my 5th northern. Got 2 bass, 7 fish total. It's turning out to be a pretty good day for early spring fishing up in northern Wisconsin, especially when the ice came off a week ago. Awesome. Okay guys, so I'm packing her up for the night. Got my poles all rigged up and we're ready to rip her out of here. Caught 7 fish. Fished for about 3.5 to 4 hours, and there was an hour and a half where it was hot and the fish were just inhaling the swim baits. It's 5:15 right now. Today's April 29th, so it's early spring up here in northern Oconto County, in the north woods of Wisconsin, northeastern part of the state here. The ice just came off last week. The water's cold, but it didn't feel too bad sticking my hands in. I'll tell you what though, the fish are hungry, so I know there's a lot of spots up in northern Wisconsin, more north than I am right now, that still have plenty of ice up there, but opening weekend of fishing is next weekend, and I'm sure there's going to be a couple people, quite a few people actually, that their lakes are going to be frozen. So but northeastern Wisconsin lakes are pretty much open and the fish are hungry. So if you're questioning whether or not to go with the ice coming off later this year, get out there because they're hungry. They're going to be eating. It took me about an hour to figure out the bite, and I started off throwing the chatterbait. I was just slow rolling it over weed beds, and then nothing on that. Then I switched to the A-rig and nothing on that, and then I finally switched to swim bait, and within a couple casts I had a bite and a follow-up, and then that kind of gained my confidence, and I just started hammering them. Caught the 5 northern and then 1 small bass, and then that nice bigger bass, which was probably close to 3 pounds. But it was really fun. Glad to get out here, glad to set some hooks into some fish. Hopefully I get out smallmouth fishing next weekend. Gonna do some trout fishing next weekend too for the opener. It's gonna be fun. Other than that, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Get out there and keep fishing and stay tuned for more videos.